Hey guys, People Close Gamers, back to React to Arrow, Season 5, Episode 3, A Matter of Trust. So, last week, we had a pretty great episode, another great episode of Arrow going here. We had the whole name reveal of this other archer in Prometheus at the end, looking pretty badass. Kind of subduing Church, so interesting to see what's going to happen with those two characters going forward, as he, being Prometheus, wants to be the one that kills the Green Arrow. He seems like he's going to be a formidable opponent. We had Ragman. I guess that's the name that he really is in the comics, and that's what we're going with. That's a terrible name. He kind of has this weird mystical power with his suit. He was the last survivor of Haven Rock, the town that Dark nuked, but, Felicity diverted the missile from, a very populated city of like 2 million people to there. Still killed tens of thousands of people. So I think that will be a point of contention going forward if he really joined the team like he seemingly did there. We also had the formation of a new team in Evelyn Sharp, Curtis, which will later be Mr. Turpik, and Wild Dog being Renee Ramirez. So Renee, he is interesting character for me. To me, he's the most interesting on the team. Curtis we know of. We'll get to know more of him. I'm not really excited about Evelyn right now, but, she is the 16-year-old chick, so maybe we'll see, more about her going forward. But I think Ramirez is going to be the tough one for Oliver to tackle because he defied his orders, already last week. It seems like he's doesn't even really want to do this team thing, so we'll see how that works out here, but I think it's going to be a little bit of growing pains. Oliver revealed that he was Oliver Queen, not just the Green Arrow to them, which was cool. I understand it, bringing them together. Felicity maybe could have done it in a little better of a way, but she really, told Oliver like it was, and that you're being physically, emotionally abusive, and she kind of undermined him a tiny bit, but she was still overall good in the episode, had some funny lines, enjoyed that. John's story for me was kind of just, it was just there, it was just so we have time with David Ramsey, which was always great. But these soldiers, here, I forget where they were, Serbia or something, Latvia, something like that, they are framing him for stealing a nuclear weapon, which not interesting right now, but we'll see where that goes going forward. We see Thea kind of running the office more and more. Lance is going to work for them, kind of to, find a place in life to move on from Laurel. There was a great, references to Laurel last week. I like how they're using her, even though I'm still sad that she is gone. And the flashbacks were interesting last week in Oliver basically getting those other men killed. So, I'm excited for this episode. So, without further ado, here we go. The Green Arrow with sleeves.
The latest design of drug. It makes PCP look like children's asthma.
Stardust, really?
But I can't guarantee you'll walk away from this.
Oh, God. Damn, I knew he was going to do kind of a Batman Begins kind of thing and break his legs. Jesus.
Wants to do the job himself.
Right, so they know. I'm glad that they weren't confused that this was the Green Arrow. They know it's somebody else. Lila, hey! Yeah, John Jr., because there's no more Sarah. God damn it, Barry.
You can't leave me here with him.
Oh, who's in there?
Hey, John.
Oh, shit.
We're soulmates again.
Deadshot.
Ain't that something?
Holy fuck. So did Barry bring back Deadshot? I was so excited for that. Michael Rowe, welcome back.
Scheduled for 8.
Wanna play?
Who's this?
That's so me.
You clean it up.
Yeah, I kind of had to side with Oliver on this one. I want to help Lance too, but it wasn't the time. Oh my God, it's Cody Rhodes. I knew when they made that Stardust joke earlier that he was going to be in this episode. God damn it, Arrow. There we go, see the new team in action now, I like it. Where did she get her training from? That's what I'm wondering. Because she wasn't that good when we saw her last season. Oh shit, the drug looks like it's spraying on both of them. That can't be good. Oh, Wild Dog getting handled as we expected. Damn, man. That is brutal shit. Alright, at least Evelyn helped him out, but he went into the drugs. That can't be good. Either he's dead, which is not going to happen because you don't bring Cody Rhodes in just to kill him, or they just made him into some kind of metahuman or I don't even know at this point. Maybe it's like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and he's a ghost. Who the hell knows what's going to happen? But you two are so dead when they get back. But I also want to say, like, this is the thing where these little nitpicks, right, that we talk about. Love this so far, except where did Evelyn get her training, right? So if Renee was, maybe he was on the streets or something. I understand Evelyn was too, but it seems like she was probably living a nice life before Dark killed her parents, which was, basically around a year ago-ish or so. She was awful at fighting last year, so you can't just tell me a week of training with Oliver has made her even do something as simple as, disarming someone. There's got to be a little bit of an explanation there.
A hockey mask.
Yeah, he did.
Everything okay, boss?
No.
I was not wasting my time with you.
It's fair. He's not being hard on you. That is fair, Ramirez. Come
My
on.
entire life did I think that I was going to hate somebody more stubborn than him. I would have lost that bet.
Good. At least Felicity's doing what she should do. She's backing Oliver in that situation.
Behavior around here?
Yes, it is.
More than I like to admit.
Damn, was that a straight up pole he just punched?
Coworkers, right?
Yeah, it's not going to go well. She's going to totally put Thea on the map for that one. So, like, did Flashpoint make him alive, or did he was just alive the whole time and they just decided to bring him back? That's the interesting point. He ain't dead. Nope, he is not dead. Sorry, Doc, he's going to kill you.
One from Sterling General.
Yeah, I would assume Cody Rhodes is going crazy. And he's invulnerable now.
Get out of here. Dear Samson, you have failed this.
Yes! Brings it back. It's a rematch of Green Arrow versus Stardust. Everything good is happening here. Oliver, I think you're going to need the team on this one. It's like a super-powered freak. Yeah, Oliver, I think you're going to have to leave, get out of there, regroup. You're dealing with basically a meta at this point, changed by the drugs. But very cool seeing Cody Rhodes back there. Funny. It's just a rematch of, I think they fought at SummerSlam this past year, and now he's on the show. So it's kind of fitting. I like that they're showing off Cody Rhodes as a wrestler, a brawler, and not really giving him any lines because he's not an actor, and I appreciate that.
Can we please not say things like that when Oliver could enter in like any second?
True. I get that he should let them help, but you know what? They didn't listen to him, and they've created a monster. So I understand Oliver being hesitant. So the men he killed were not good men, is basically what they did. I kind of like the light layover in the flashbacks right now. It's kind of cool looking what they're doing.
It's okay, I don't hold grudges.
I doubt that.
The chief of staff needs a minute. Let me know when you talk to Piston. I appreciate it, of course.
That's a bunch of awkwardness, Oliver.
His own administration.
God damn it.
I'm gonna go clean it up.
Oh, Thea, you can't leave. Oh, man, this is just getting worse and worse here, man. Not one person in Oliver's life could come through. Alright, well, looks like we're getting kind of into the Mirakuru territory, which is not good news for Oliver and not good news for the audience, as we're sort of retreading old storylines, but I assume the new team will put it to rest. I understand Felicity's point of not telling, what was his name, Rory, I think they said, because they don't know him, but I also get that Curtis's point of clearing the air, so we'll see what happens going forward.
You're pushing this Wild Dog codename thing a bit too far.
The point is
To get the team.
Good idea. That's it. Let's get the team out there. Let's do it. Not a bad inspirational talk from Felicity. He thinks he should pay for it, for killing his brother.
to be punished.
I have no idea.
It's very Roy-like.
Long death.
No, Lila, he's nice.
Oh. Is it in John's head? Interesting twist. It's in John's head, maybe.
For me, Lila.
Ooh.
I have.
Okay, that is an interesting twist to this episode. He might not even exist. It might be just in John's head. Oh, this is so much cringe.
Sloan, Mr. Terrific, the greatest wrestler in the history of wrestling.
There you go.
He was so good that he went out.
That's where he's gonna get the name from.
Slow down molecular structure.
Great.
What would Samson need with that?
The vat that you drop.
To make an army.
Scene of the crime.
Oh my God, Curtis. Yes, roll your eyes.
Samson is building an army. Then I'm gonna need mine. For real. For real.
All right. Does any of them have outfits beside Ramirez?
Oh.
Oh God.
No, like it's gonna be a nice moment where we all sit at the same time. Is that just your thing?
Curtis, you ruined it.
Okay, yeah. That's you. That's just him.
Even the theme music stopped, Curtis. That's how bad you ruined the moment. God damn it. But that was funny. Good episode so far. There's little things that I don't like of kind of retreading some storylines here. It's not a nitpick. It's a minor complaint. But so far so good. I'm glad to finally see the team in action here. Not yet, because they don't have the chemical in them yet. Yeah, that's a cool shot. Alright, guys, so that's my reaction there to Season 5, Episode 3 of Arrow, A Matter of Trust. So this was another good episode, another in the right direction kind of thing going here for Season 5. There was a little bit of annoying points of the episode, just because it was kind of retreading a little bit of old storylines there with kind of the almost super soldiers that were Mirakuru and you know, and a few other things going on, just kind of with, you know, people making wrong decisions with the team, and then, you know, in a few things like that. But overall good. You're going to notice, obviously, that the reaction kind of seems weird that I didn't put any of the video in for the last 10 minutes. That's completely on me. It's just my phone ended up dying, so the reaction just stopped in those last 10 minutes. And I didn't know, obviously, until I was done. So I don't fake reactions here. So, you know, completely transparent. I wasn't going to, like, re-record it after it charged and, you know, fake my reaction. So what I'm going to do is either play, like, clips here on the bottom that you're going to see as I'm talking, or kind of just freeze-frame shots of what I thought of those last 10 minutes. And then I'll get into just the overall huge parts of the episode. We get the debut here, and you'll see here, of Mr. Terrific, in a way, as his character with the mask. It's cool that he is Mr. Terrific. It looks a little weird in live action, but, you know, comic books are wacky, so I guess that's kind of to be expected. The team was good. Wild Dog, saving everyone. The other weird thing was, and I don't know if I'll be able to show this on the bottom, I'll probably just show the little clip of it, a little bit of a video, was like, Evelyn's weird super jump that seemed really CGI. That was a little odd too. Also jumping around even a little before that, when Mr. Terrific, when Curtis was pinned there and the guy was like, "Why are you smiling, dirtbag?" Even though he's the dirtbag. And that was a great shot of Rory, I think is his name, Ragman, coming up behind him and throwing him off. And they had a fun thing of saying, that's really creepy. And he called it something like the Whisper's Bite or something. So that's fairly interesting. The other huge moment that I really reacted to was Oliver cutting the guy's tendons and leaving him basically like a freaking zombie. That was really, really cool. It's funny that they joked about him being a zombie and he kind of looked like one in that scene. And he got this kind of badass shot of the whole team walking out and then Oliver walking out with the explosion. Really enjoyed that. Then we cut to Oliver, and I didn't even think about it, showing the team the actual real lair. I'm like, oh, they've been in the lair the whole time. Kind of another part that we really don't know how big the lair is. They actually got to come down in the elevator. Ramirez made a funny line of like, "Hey, do the workers who built the elevator actually, know about this?" And Oliver was like, "Eh." Like, so that was really funny that they had a moment like that where they kind of addressed the small things kind of that we wonder in the CW universe, things like that. Or in Flash, like, where do the prisoners go to the bathroom? Or, how do they really eat on a regular basis? Is it just, in that deleted scene from season 1, it's just always Caitlin, giving them, fast food, from Belly Burger? Like, is that it? So it's nice that when they address little jokes like that, he also kind of provided a vote of confidence behind him when Elena said, who wears a hockey mask? well, Evelyn, excuse me, I'm thinking of Agent Shield. When Evelyn said, who wears a hockey mask, and Oliver going, oh, it's kind of cool. So he's starting to back him more, starting to trust his team more. You get this badass shot of the four of them kind of looking at the four cases of Oliver and Speedy and John, as Guardian and, well, not Guardian. He was supposed to be Guardian, Spartan. And obviously Laurel's, which, still sad that she's gone. And then, we got a flashback of the Brafa. Pretty much all that explains there is how Oliver got his back scars, or at least a decent amount of them for the most part. It was weird, though, that he wants him, Anatoly wants Oliver to trust the Brafa, but like a couple episodes ago, he was saying, Oliver, the only person you could trust is yourself. So that kind of seems like a little bit weird of a contradiction, I thought, during the reaction. And then they kind of gave a cool little, I'll probably put the video down, a cool little transition shot of like Thea opening the doors in the mayor's office. I really like that. We've seen the new DEA, basically, him just explaining, the Green Arrows team must be as fast as the Flash, and they caught him, and now he could prosecute him. Thea was going to put in her resignation, but Oliver did a very badass thing, put out the fire like he pretty much has to do everywhere, and we get this kind of great shot of him giving a press conference saying, the buck, as they say, stops with me. I'm the one, my team makes decisions, but the buck stops with me. Everything the team decides is what I represent. And he brings, Quentin in. We get this awesome shot of his team back at the lair, the Green Arrow bunker, the lair, watching on the TV and seeing that, and brings in Quentin and, basically just gives him his vote of confidence in him, and, Quentin appreciates that. So that was a really cool scene. Nice dichotomy jumping back and forth between his team in the daylight and his team in the nighttime. And then Thea has this great scene where she just completely shuts down that reporter who wasn't really being a great journalist or, saying stuff off the record, really just trying to sell stories. I know it's hard to be a journalist, but I'm trying to be one. That's what I'm going to school for. But you can't always just sell for the story. It's very tabloid-like. So that was really cool. Her just, shutting her down. The other big scene was, they made little jokes in there of like, Curtis saying, oh, it never gets old, right? And then, having the deal with Paul, who was eventually going to find out. Basically, I always keep forgetting her name, Miss Sharp. What is her name? I keep wanting to say Elena, Evelyn. That's it, Evelyn, saying, hey, how is dating with this kind of vigilante life? And Felicity saying, basically, the short version, don't. But also, you're 16, Evelyn, so who are you planning on dating? Ramirez? Like, he's probably in his 20s. But it led to the bigger scene of Felicity telling Rory Ragman that, hey, I'm the one who dropped the nuke. I thought that was going to go on way longer than it did, and I'm kind of glad that they wrapped it up. He obviously was super emotional about it, didn't say anything, was kind of just completely speechless, but I don't think he's going to turn evil on them now. He could. That's what I said last episode, but there's potential that maybe they can mend this. She obviously did it for the right reasons, so that was a big moment. And then at the end there, you had Lila coming back and saying, hey, Oliver, John is in prison, and I need you to break him out. So that's basically the review that I can give of how I reacted to each scene. I do apologize that you won't be able to see those last 10 minutes, but sometimes shit happens, basically. If I'm going into main points of the episode, getting back to the regular review, I would definitely say, once again, it's the new team, because we're still exploring those characters. I would say it's kind of not a huge story, but I would say it's Thea. Just her life is adjusting into her role, dealing with this reporter. Quentin Lance is thrown in there as well. The third option here, I guess, would be, Cody Rhodes' character. I believe it's Shepard, and kind of how the criminal organizations are working under Church or just trying to get something else for themselves. I would say that's another main point. Felicity telling Ragman about the bomb is a big deal. And then I would say John Diggle's story in general. So 5 main points here. So going into the first main point, yeah, we had the new team thing kind of last week, but this was a big deal. This was the first trial run of the team. This is still going to be growing pains, but of course, Ramirez not listening again. He did have a good point like he had last week where he got the lead on Ragman. This time he knew where they were making the Stardust, which was a very funny kind of thing because Cody Rhodes' name was Stardust in WWE. So that was very funny. But he fucked it up, made a super weapon by accident, could have gotten himself killed. I still think it's funny that he uses guns, but I guess Oliver's really kind of back to being brutal, killing Oliver for the most part, so he doesn't really care. But we're seeing their places among the team. Evelyn seems the most of, she's in the middle. So Curtis is really the good boy. He's the one that knows them the most, knows the most about them. He really listens to everything Oliver says for the most part. Ramirez is on the opposite end of the spectrum. He completely doesn't listen. He's the most hard-headed. Felicity makes a comment in here. I never thought I'd meet someone more stubborn than Oliver. And, he's basically it. And then Evelyn's directly in the middle. She went with, Renee, but she was also hesitant to go with him, and she does side with Curtis a little more sometimes. We even seen last episode of her saying, I don't understand why he's on this team. He's a little bit crazy, kind of weirds me out and stuff like that. Pretty much the team for the most part now is just weirded out by Rory and his magical powers, which is really funny. But it was cool seeing them all together. There is going to be growing pains. We're going to have to, Rory's going to have to hopefully get over this whole Felicity thing, which is a big deal, but hopefully he doesn't turn on them. But I like the team's dynamic. I think there is a nice push and pull. Oliver's learning how to be a better person, a better leader, a better man, and I do like that going into these episodes. Really enjoy that. Thea's the second point because even though she's not a gigantic part of this episode, she's still struggling adjusting with her life as Speedy, as assistant basically in the mayor's office. She's like the head of basically the PR department for the most part. I forget what her official title is in there. She's like his main right hand man on staff basically. I understand Oliver being pissed about the whole Quentin Lance situation because it's a pretty big deal. You're hiring a drunk, a former police captain who kind of had a checkered past of kind of, how he didn't become the police captain and stuff like that. It's public knowledge that he was the father of Black Canary, Laura Lance, which shouldn't be that hard for people to connect the dots, but whatever, it's a TV show. But, she struggles with her inexperience, definitely, with the reporter and dealing with that. And I think Oliver's point was perfect in the sense that I don't need people of so much experience, even though that's important. And Quentin helps with that, but I need people I can trust. And that is Quentin. That is Thea. I like that he was upfront with the media, and he's trusting his team in the light as the mayor just as much he is in the dark as the Green Arrow. So I thought that was a really great way of just expanding on her character, and maybe she'll come back as Speed. But right now, I want to see this new team grow. I would definitely say. The third point in being Cody Rhodes and kind of the criminal, his character Shepard and kind of the criminal organizations. You see that Church is the guy that is very quickly in the last couple weeks has taken over the town, and this guy is trying to carve out a little sect, basically, of the criminal enterprise, running this Stardust drug that kind of mixed with something else, and that's what made this super-powered concoction, basically. I really did enjoy seeing more of the criminal organizations. Cody, Rhodes there, he was good in his part, mostly physical. He did have a little bit of lines. I didn't think he was terrible. He does act for a living in WWE. So, I thought he fit fine. I thought there was great fight scenes, that hospital fight scene, that ending fight scene of Oliver, cutting his tendons, all great stuff. Really enjoyed that. We didn't see Church in this episode for the first time, and no Prometheus. So two characters we did not get that we got in the first 2 weeks. Rightfully so. We're still feeling out the team. We're basically adding Ragman, even though the team is not fully set. There was things going on with Thea, with John. A lot of stuff going on. So I'm glad that, they touch on it, but that was it. Fourth point is Felicity. Telling Ragman about the bomb. Big deal going forward. Hopefully, like I said, I touched on, he doesn't react negatively to it and comes back to the team. But that's a big thing. That's something that normal Arrow or normal CW shows would have taken 5 episodes to drag that on. Like that we get to it. We're getting better. We got better in Flash Season 2. We got better in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. going on. Starting in Season 2 where we just bang. We just go through stories here. Let's just pop through this. So, I took Curtis's advice, told him, I hope that he understands reason, Rory, that it was the lesser of two evils that she chose. And, Felicity was good in this episode. She had, a couple good moments of humor. She did have that moment there of conflict that I'm glad that she addressed, even though she did cry a little bit, but understandably so. And she backed Oliver in this episode, most importantly, especially in that scene where Ramirez acted out. She told him, she told Oliver, again, not in front of the team like she shouldn't have done last week, which was right, but still, she kind of undermined him a little bit. She told him in private, hey, maybe you need to, adjust this. And while Oliver was with the team and telling, Ramirez, you fucked up, she totally agreed with him, said you're even more stubborn than he is, and walked off with him. And that's good that they're backing each other. It's not relationship-wise. It's just they are the two mainstays of the team, and they need to support each other in decisions for the most part. So I did like that. The fifth point, and arguably maybe the major point of the episode, is John. We get an awesome thing of seeing Michael Rowe back as Deadshot, who I guess is dead, is not really there, which I was so excited at first, and as probably many other people are when I watched their reactions after this video, to see, oh my god, Barry changed the timeline. Deadshot is alive. DC is not being stupid. And they're actually, just because he was in the movies, they didn't kill him in the show. And nope, he ruined a host of dreams, and it looks like it was all in John's head. Which speaks to how far John has lost it with killing his brother, understandably so though, but still a tough decision, with this army thing, which was kind of his last stronghold. He went to the army to kind of go find himself, and what does he find there? More bad people that fucked him over. So he's kind of losing it a little bit, but even though Deadshot ended up being a hallucination, I think it provided a great just conversations that we could see what are the inner workings of John's mind, but a great way to see Michael Rowe back as well. I really enjoyed that. Interesting that John doesn't want to fight the charges. Lila wants Oliver to break him out, she said at the end of that episode. Don't think that's going to go that well. I think they might end up breaking him out because that's just what the show's plot is seemingly going to be next week, just by the way they ended that episode. But that is going to require not only some manpower from the team, but that's a lot of complications. You can't just break him out, then he's a fugitive on the run. He can't live a normal life, so that probably not going to be the best decision there. I think maybe exploring this general's background and some kind of financial, lapses that it seemed in his account that Lila was hinting at. That's the better way to go, not breaking him out. He did mention John Jr., which is still sad that Barry changed that from Sarah to John Jr., but we definitely got some great scenes of John, of feeling guilty. What another point I didn't like was, though, a little nitpick, is just like kind of the Mirakuru-like thing. We had a little bit of tread of a storyline of Roy here. He killed that officer when he was on the Mirakuru in the end of Season 2. And he felt guilty, so when he turned himself as the Arrow, he said he was repaying those sins. He was the one that should go to prison out of John and him and Felicity. And he felt like he needed to pay for those sins. Kind of the same thing John is doing right now. I don't like that they're retreading that a little bit, but John is in a dark place, and hopefully they can bring him back. But some really intriguing, great storylines going on with him this week. The best, even though it's only 3 episodes in, the best storylines with him so far this season. So overall, guys, that's kind of my thoughts here on episode 3 of season 5 of Arrow, A Matter of Trust. Let me know what you thought of the episode in the comments below. Did you like the episode? Did you not like the episode? Did you have any little nitpicks like I did? Did you overall like it? What were your favorite moments? Kind of like, Oliver's slow motion, shooting and pulling that badass action shot of Cody Rhodes towards him. What were other scenes did you like? What did you think of the new team? How do you think Rory in the long run is going to react to the information Felicity dropped on him? Did you like that she immediately kind of addressed that situation? What do you think about Lila's kind of plan here to, break John out of prison? What do you think of John hallucinating there with Deadshot and his plan to really just not fight the charges at all? How do you think about each individual member of the team so far? How are you adjusting to Curtis as Mr. Terrific, or Wild Dogs Ramirez, or Evelyn, with her little mask there, or even Ragman here? What'd you think about that? What do you think about Oliver trusting his team not only as the Green Arrow, but as the mayor, and backing Thea and Quentin, and kind of Thea's little storyline here with the reporter and the new DEA getting introduced? What were your thoughts there? And Oliver being a brutal mother effer and hitting that guy off the roof, and basically he probably broke many bones, kind of Batman Begins like. What'd you think about that? And any other thoughts, theories, Easter eggs, predictions you had in the episode? Let me know them down below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, share with your friends if you'd be so kind, and until next week of Arrow, guys, thanks for watching.